Now, the US State Department has announced a charter flight to fly American citizens out of Haiti as gang violence grips the nation. The situation for ordinary people remains dangerous, with police in the capital, Port-au-Prince, currently trying to arrest gang leader Jimmy Cheri-zier, known as Barbecue. Last week, the escalating violence forced the resignation of the Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who had been out of the country trying to organise the deployment of an international security force to stabilise the country. Well, joining me now is Jacqueline Charles. She's a Caribbean correspondent at the Miami Herald who has family living in Haiti. Jacqueline, thank you very much for joining us. We've seen reports of looting, half of hospitals in Port-au-Prince closed. It just looks like the situation's intensifying again. Just what is happening?
Yes, indeed. After a couple of days of relative calm in the capital, we are seeing that there is much more intensity. On Friday, the police was trying to access one of their bases for their specialized police units, and then you got it into a shootout with some of the gangs, and this continued into yesterday. This is a stronghold there. We're also hearing that private homes were also looted. We know that the gangs went back and attacked the seaport again. UNICEF is saying that they had a number of containers that have been looted. There's over 100 containers that today sort of are in the control of gangs. We've been focused a lot about Port-au-Prince, but the reality is that the rest of the country will soon start to feel the effects of this, because if you cannot get fuel, if you cannot get potable water, you cannot get food, that really is going to drive this humanitarian crisis that Haiti was already in even deeper.
It just seems like such a desperate situation. So many people are trying to get out. With that US kind of announcement that you can get out from Cap Haitien, which is in the north of the country, what are you hearing about that? Who has managed to leave the capital?
Well, as we speak, that flight is landing right now in Miami. People have not been able to leave the capital because all roads outside of the capital are blocked by gangs. So this will benefit individuals who are in the north of the country, who are not in the capital, but the ones who really need to get out are those that are in Port-au-Prince. And we do not know how that is going to happen. There are some helicopters that are flying, into the Dominican Republic, but they are very expensive, although they quoted us, the Miami Herald, between $10,000 and $15,000. People are telling me that they're being quoted $80,000 for a helicopter ride.
And in Haiti, who could afford that? Only the very, very wealthy, when in a situation where lots of people are struggling. What do you know about the police operation to get the gang leader that lots of people have been talking about?
So Jimmy Cheri-zier, aka Barbecue, police put out a very brief statement yesterday acknowledging that there were a number of people who were mortally wounded, many of them gang members. They did not give us a number. They acknowledged that they got into a shootout with him and his armed gang members. We were all trying to figure out whether or not he himself has been wounded or if he escaped. I know that there was video that was going around because there was a belief that maybe his house had collapsed or something. I'm told by police sources that that was old video footage. But again, we know that the police can combat. The problem is that when they go in, they take control of an area. Their numbers just don't allow for them to, keep control, because then there's another crisis that's erupting someplace else. This is a country of 12 million people, a capital of over 4 million, and you have 9,000 police officers throughout the country and only a few hundred that are actually involved in these specialized units.
What do we know more about the leadership in the country? I've seen reports that say the list of nominees to establish some sort of transitional council has been forwarded to CARICOM, that's Caribbean leaders. What more do you know about the installation of a new government, possibly?
So we at the Miami Herald, we broke the story that the U.S. was forcing outgoing Prime Minister Ariel Henry to resign. Since then, we've seen a meeting in Jamaica last week to put together this presidential council, which is supposed to be 9 members. But given the activities of this week, the police chief, his house was set on fire. People are very nervous, and they're now really thinking secondly about whether or not they want to do this. We are waiting to see whether or not all those names will go in. Will we see some sort of a swearing in? Henry has announced that he will resign, but he has to wait until that council is installed and there's another prime minister to continue the continuity.
And just lastly, Jacqueline, I know that you have family there, and I just wondered how you are feeling and how they are coping with the situation at the moment?
This is a very stressful situation. Most of my family's in the north, but I do have family and friends in Port-au-Prince. I was there just about a month ago. We were planning to go again. It's frightening. You get the phone calls, you hear the gunshots in the background. People don't know when their houses are going to be looted or attacked, or when they're going to run out of basic supplies. And everybody's asking me, when is help going to arrive? And I can't tell them that, because right now the whole issue with the deployment, it isn't just because there is no sort of functioning government, but it's because in the US, where they've pledged initially $200 million, now $300 million, the Biden administration is having a very difficult time getting that money from Republican lawmakers.